So from there, that little solution is something that you could offer as a service. So if you're at home, you lost your job, you could actually make these little videos for a small business owner.
So you became the reporter, and then they could use the service to post it all, and they do it all, and this person doesn't have to figure out where in the middle of my chiropractic life do I go make this, create this, market this. Because most of those business owners who are kind of artists, who are incredibly skilled practitioners, whether it's a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, any kind of business person, they know they need to do this, but most of them don't have the time.
Yes.
So somebody can come in, and what's ironic about this marketplace is they'll trust a young kid to come in and do it because the assumption is they lived in a different world, they understand these types of things, or they'll trust someone else who can do a decent presentation.
Yeah.
And you can also do this where you do it based on results to some extent.
Totally.
You could charge a fee, or you could say, I'll do it for a piece of the business. So there's no downside for someone to really work with you if you learn this simple system, 10-10-4.
Yep. So that's one way you can use it. You can provide it as a service. We actually have some of our clients who are using our tool for basically it automates this whole process of distributing the video, because we didn't talk about how you get the visitors yet, but they're making now hundreds of thousands of dollars per year doing this as a service for small businesses.
Wow.
Because who doesn't need more customers, right?
Yeah.
And if you provide them a way, and you'd say, look, I'm going to take away the prospecting, I'm going to generate leads, I'm going to send them to you, and I'm going to qualify them, because anyone who's watched your videos is going to be a qualified buyer.
Especially if they've done more than one.
Yes.
I read a statistic the other day that was fascinating. 85% of all buying behavior now begins on the web.
Yeah.
85%. So people go there, but the challenge is, in the past, when you first put up the website, people thought, I put up my website, I offer my products and services, here's the price, here's how to get it, and people do it. And in my company, honestly, it was the same thing. We're so used to people just coming to us. And I said, when we do a seminar, we add so much value. I mean, I've been around 30 years. We have raving fan customers because they come, and it's 10 times more than they would ever expect for their time, their energy, their money. What you're really saying, it sounds like to me, is you got to rethink completely your web communication, where now it's not, they go to the website, people go to the website, there's a million websites. Now you have to engage them, you got to create a personal relationship, you got to give them so much value, of added value, of education, understanding. They go, this is why I should do business with you. Wow, I like you. Let's rock and roll. And that becomes not just a customer, but a client. Is that a fair way of describing it?
Yes, ideally, and they also will become a raving fan and a affiliate who will promote and market you as well, hopefully virally. So if you give them, this is another real key tool, is if you give people tools so they can promote you for you, again, there's a million ways of using video to do this, but the key is you got to bring them in, you got to entice them, you have to seduce them. Yes. And again, video does a remarkable job of that. And then you'd offer them something great. Right. Again, I would say, even if, let's say you're a wine dealer, you are in the information business, okay? One of the ways you can make money as a wine dealer, not just selling wine, is providing great information to your clientele, saying, I've got a new wine, here's why it's great, okay? Now you're in the information business. You could sell...
And now when they're at dinner, they're able to tell someone else that little tip that they've learned.
Totally. If I make you look smart in front of your peers, boom, guess who I'm going to make, so if I make an expert out of you, and that's part of this whole community. Again, social media does it so well. So if you're giving them great tools so they can, taste the wine, impress the lady or their group or their peers or whatever, it's a fabulous thing. Again, every business is in the information marketing business. This is a vehicle to communicate and present to the entire connected planet in minutes. And there are tons of formulas and techniques of doing that are really easy to execute. They require virtually no capital. They can be done in a couple of hours.
Well, let's talk about a couple of those. But I want to point one thing out. What's interesting about who becomes a star today, it isn't necessarily the most attractive person.
Yes.
It isn't necessarily the most intellectual individual. Sometimes it's somebody who doesn't even provide the greatest education. They're just entertaining as hell. And we're living in a world where there's so much stress that people want that distraction. They want that moment of entertainment that doesn't make them demand an hour or two of their time, just those few moments. And you look at some of the stars, of the internet, and they're crazy mofos. They're out there doing different things. So I think it's really important not to filter yourself out and go, what do I have? I think what really works is what you have. What you have beyond technology. There's lots of technology experts